Elinor, thanks for coming on. This is going to be a colorful interview. You have set out to make Chalkville in West Haven. What is that?
Chalkville will attempt to break the world record for the largest chalk pavement art.
Why are you doing this? In West Haven, we should say. Why are you doing this?
Well, West Haven's my home. It has a lot of cultural assets, a lot of people who are involved in really cool things all over the region who want to come together in their own backyards to make something amazing happen.
Are you doing this as a community building issue? Now, you told me in Alameda, California, they have the record, the Guinness Book World of Records, of 90,000 square feet of chalk drawing.
That's right.
You're going to set what kind of a record?
Our record is going to be 100,000 square feet, so we'll have a healthy margin.
How are you planning to do this?
Well, we have a core planning team, and every 2 weeks we get together for a planning meeting. We're in touch with the city council. My city councilman is in touch with the director of public works. We've met with the superintendent. There's a lot of people with bringing an enormous amount of goodwill to this effort to organize ourselves in this way.
Now, how do you undertake doing 100,000 square feet of a playground area, if you will, behind West Haven High School? I can't imagine what the planning looks like. Does somebody get to design, oh, this area is going to be blue and this area is going to be red? What happens with that?
Well, it is extremely collaborative, and the project does have a leadership role for artists. There are 2 student co-chairs who are students at the high school from the art department who are involved in a team of artists headed by Courtney Tracy, who is an alumna herself from West Haven High School. And those artists are going to design the image. It has to be one continuous image. Those are the guidelines from the Guinness Book of World Records. And they will lay down grid lines before the public and the community groups come in to add the color.
Now help me with this. So do you outline whatever it is that you're drawing? And behind us now is a Superman. And you said this was done by a West Haven High School artist?
Yes, it turns out the high school has a tradition of annual chalk drawing down at the boardwalk every year. For
it just turns out.
For their senior art show. So we're connecting with something that's been going on for years.
So individuals will then get on the ground with their chalk and color this in.
There's a product, a semi-permanent contractor's chalk that the artists will use to lay down the grid lines to provide a guideline. And when people who have registered, individuals or community groups, show up this July, they will have an enormous array of colors at their discretion to add to the mix.
Now tell me about how this is going to maybe put West Haven on the map and get the rest of the state of Connecticut to look at this city and say, wow, look what they did. And they incorporated kids and adults and individuals who just wanted to help out and volunteers. And at the end of the day, are you raising money too, or is this just about community building?
Well, it really is an enormous amount of civic pride to see how well and quickly people are getting along to organize all the bits and pieces that need to come together to make this happen. I just found out I did get some funding from the Awesome Foundation. I found out in the very beginning of the year.
And how did they find you? Because I know a little bit about them, and they give small grants to help people do awesome things in the state of Connecticut. So how did they find you?
Well, I applied. And they've been making grants in the state of Connecticut for about a year. So they selected me as their December project. So right at the start of the new year was when I started getting in touch with people in West Haven. So
did they think you were crazy? You're gonna do 100,000 square feet of chalk. Did they say why? Why do you want to do this?
Well, actually, the arts has been talked about and discussed for a number of years in West Haven, and at this point, art center or no art center, there are people who want to get together and do something amazing. So,
is the hope to get an art center in West Haven?
Well, that is in the works. It will happen someday, but we're not waiting to continue to do awesome programming.
Elinor, when this is all said and done, and this is, we should say this is July 12th, this is going to happen?
Community groups are going to come in and draw on the 12th. The public has the 13th and the 14th. From very early in the morning to very late at night. It's going to be an extreme drawing event. And the 14th, we're going to have a cleanup and viewing party with live music.
And if somebody hears this interview and they say, I want to get involved, I want to help, what is it that you need?
Well, we will need lots and lots of chalk. The Awesome Foundation did provide some seed funding, but we certainly don't want to run out of chalk. So the West Haven Council on the Arts is our fiscal agent, and donations for supplies can be mailed to a P.O. Box 16513.
Go ahead, get it out there.
P.O. Box 16513, West Haven, Connecticut 06516, and that's Chalkville, care of West Haven Council on the Arts. At the conclusion of the project, any extra supplies that we happen to have on hand will be donated back to the art department of the high school.
And then the question is, I guess, will you do it again? And will this become an annual thing for West Haven as you gain, all of these themes around it? You're going to do West Haven Savin Rock. You're going to do all these wonderful things. But would you do it yearly, do you think?
Well, there could certainly be a merging of the community tradition of chalk drawing with the high school students' tradition of chalk drawing. If we like it and we all have as great a time as we think we will, who knows?
Okay, and I hope you're sitting back when this is all done and just saying, wow, we did it. Elinor, thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ann.